pla morning through long you pla all good pla listeners. Now long all viewers society viewing this pla program lo now lo 9 o'clock lo program lo Yumi lo talk. Me welcome him you pla lo narabla new pla day. Na Yumi thank him big man lo give him Yumi new pla breath of life. Inside long studio now Yumi got him two pla guest bla Yumi. Tupla lawyer, that's Israel na Hezron. You may welcome him Tupla. Now long tete, but you may get him law talk. Our topic for today, now program, social media and cybercrime. So now bami larim go long Tupla, long introduce him all yet can, and then they can move forward with their program. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Good morning, all listeners. My name is Israel Hukula. Me lawyer one time, Department of Justice. We work on them, Public Trustee Office.
Morning, Ogata listeners. Name to me Hezron Wangi Jr. Me work on them, Department of Justice. In Selo, Office of the Solicitor General. Me almost sit on TV plan or discuss this topic. Okay, so last week in the previous session before me been got I think two separate sessions. Me talk the same topic, which was about registration of businesses na contracts. I think last week that's all, and me talk all contracts. So in essence, it talks about the life of any business relies on contracts, and contracts. It's important that persons entering into a contract must know the different elements to a contract, which we touched on. Things like offer and acceptance. We touched on consideration. We touched on performance. Kind of something awesome. So whenever things don't work out between two parties or two or more parties that you agree on them on the contract, it can be written or it can be unwritten. The law can always assist in terms of enforcing those contracts. But especially where business involved long it's important that your business is registered so that it can be recognized under the law. So on them kind profit or on kind economic loss or whichever you like claiming law, from before the court can assist you with that. So yeah, that's basically in essence what we wanted to, we talked about in the last session and then previous sessions before, which is, spin-off blow businesses, registration of businesses and such. Yeah. So for a session like today, I think it's a topic that we covered before, but because of its importance, we're going to go over this topic again concerning cybercrime influence on social media and also crime as well. How social media the influence of social media and its effect on impressionable minds and those who have social media accounts and such. So let me just touch a bit again on Cybercrime Act, something on the Cybercrime Act, and some things that we do that we don't know that unintentional, sometimes intentional, we don't know, but we do not know that these things are more constituting more crime. We're actually committing crimes, and then also the use of social media platforms to aid in illegality. Yeah. Kind of small hate crimes and stuff like that, and which can cause things to spiral out of control. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna start on cybercrime. Maybe ask him, Israel, suppose thinking blue, yeah, do you think is cybercrime and one is something so that we can break him down all listeners to me.
Okay, basically cybercrime is crime that's committed through use of all electronic devices. So you can use mobile phone to send some threatening messages to someone. That institute Islam also on the crime now. Or you can use your email, you can tell him email, or you can log computer from computer to computer, or you can on social media. You can go na you pagarap yung one laman or talk no good mem lo inside the social media or you do things like that. Crime that's to do with cyber crime, and a crime basically is something that you have a intent for and you commit him. So meaning 2 plus something. You thinking through lo walk him some pagarap man you walk him action you walk him. So these are 2 plus something and constituting 1 plus crime. So cyber use of electronic devices and then the crime aspect of it. So it's put together as a cyber crime. So basically when you using a device, electronic device to commit a crime, it's a crime. You're doing something wrong. You have that ability and you actually carrying out that's what happens when a crime, cybercrime offense is committed. Basically coming back our topic today is the influence part, the influence aspect of it. So sometimes when you do say something on using a social media platform or any other platform, you can be it can cause or influence someone to go and commit a crime.
Yes.
So that's very important. It comes back to yourself, your values and your responsibilities when you dealing or when you're using these devices or this sort of electronic means of communicating. And responsibility come back to you. So you must be responsible when you're putting out your information or anything. So we also got to consider our audience or the type of audience that you are putting it out there. When you're putting out something, you're putting out to everyone to view and see. Some people, they may see it negative. Some people, they may see it as a positive. Some people, they just have no perceptions. Everybody has different ways of interpreting. Forming views of something and having a perception of something. So, like I said, the main thing for me to do with the cybercrime and influences is influence on influencing through cybercrime, and is your responsibility as a person using those electronic devices. The use of electronic devices is fairly new to us in Papua New Guinea. It's just taken off.
I don't know.
10 or 11.
12 kaman it's rapid increase.
Yes.
Use for social media.
Yes. So that because of that, a lot of people are just finding these things and like I said, it comes back to your responsibility and your values as a person, how you conduct, how you conduct yourself, or how you whatever you put on. It can be negative or positive. It can influence people in a negative way and a positive way. And also like I said, your audience.
Yes.
So all line blah who know how to use these electronic devices, you have to have a responsibility to also teach or guide people also who do not really know how to use these things or the type of implications that can be used. So it's really a personal thing when we come to the cyber using electronic devices to communicate. And and the influence that we have on someone or something, it has both negative and positive on people and how they view it, and then how you. So the responsibility comes back to you, the user. When you using these things, you have to be responsible enough to know what's right and wrong, and when you're putting things on communication, this mass communication means you must be responsible, put responsible information on.
Yeah, I think one of the most important things you mentioned there, you've been talking like when you started, it's about the influence bit there. Influence with that. Why this topic is different from the previous one is we're discussing about the influence it has on people. Okay, I'm just looking through a paper here. One of these research paper that was released last year from National Research Institute of Papua New Guinea. It studies the misuse of social media by students and their academic performance. And then, I'm going through this, and there's quite a lot of interesting things that's being discussed in this paper. Of course, it's backed by facts.
Yes.
So one of the things that it talks about is so internet was first introduced in Papua New Guinea, 97. The social media boom, I think, as a Mimi talk, it was around 2009, 10, 12, around that time. So the main thing that it was used for is basically, apart from communication, it's to promote businesses, updates on current events, trends, build relationships with others and everything. But I think the most fascinating thing is it's being used mostly by our youths. And then by 2023, 31.8% of our population are active on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, LinkedIn. So 30% of how much million you missed up here?
10.
Yeah.
It's 10, the recent.
Yeah. I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. It's
official records is 10, around 10.
And now, when we're talking about influence, we're talking about, this how they say these days, those trends, trends and how people do things, oh, it's a trend, you have to do this, dancing, whatever, But there's also the other darker aspect of it, like people don't understand that influence work for the good as well as for the bad, and people don't know sometimes that they reshare certain things like hate crimes, hate crime, hate speech, incitement of civil unrest, kind of something else. There was last year we had this January 10 or June 10, January 10.
Yes.
That civil riot that took out most of put the city to a halt, and then most of the mass communication that was put out was through social media. There was pictures, fear being spread, and it gripped people. Society, especially Papua New Guinea. Whereas we were just gripped with fear. There were people, all sorts of misinformation. I think the first casualty during civil unrest is information. You will not know whether Olman or Tok Lem true or not. And then the thing about social media, it takes away that part of verification. We have newspapers, we have traditional forms of media that usually verifies things first. Or imigo, reportable imigo, go sem la production plan news plan story, all ksim pizza, lo provem when something come up, na editable go through lo information, call him online where all involved lo disla, and then they make sure that it's true. But these days, what's an editor, You can get a picture of a dog or whatever it is, and then you can spin your own story. You put it up on social media, and people will believe anything they read. To the point where we had that COVID-19 issue, people are drinking bleach and all of those things because of some, it's foolishness, but, foolishness, when it's believed by a mass of people, it becomes hypnosis. People are hypnotized by false information, So that's the other danger to that side of, and mind you, Israel, let me throw some incitement of, unrest and whatnot. They're captured under the Cybercrime Act.
Yes.
I think so. Wait, let me check.
I think there's a provision there.
So So for our listeners, incitement of incitement meaning that you provoke him all man. You provoke him all man. You talk, these people are coming this way. They're going to do this. We have to take revenge on that. And then the hate spirals out of control because you are the person that you post things, you write things. So you talk, you sigara up in Belbrol man. And it's really worse in situations where we have, social accusation related violence, things like that, as well as ethnicity clashes between all tribes. And social media, we don't know that. It's the aid, the tool that we use to put out these things. And then also starting fight. Yeah. So it's actually captured under the Cybercrime Act. Let me just, Mitla just confirm him, that's all. About hate speech.
I would like to ask something.
Yes, Father.
Okay. We know very well that when the country is like proclaimed as a democratic country, and it is, there are three pillars that are in the democracy. The main points, the main thing, who reigns the thing in the country, the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, it is also included like a fourth pillar, the media. The fourth pillar of the democracy is the media, the freedom of the freedom to bring everything.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Is it not that is somehow is being misunderstood? Because as you mentioned, now there is no editor. Before the newspapers, the news, what they're bringing, the TV news, everything. It's mostly it's a government is the one who has the TV channels and all these things long before. So they work a lot, they edit it and they bring it, and they bring the news out. So, but now one can have one nice mobile phone, and just one will be there to take the video, and he brings out the news in whatever way he or she wants, and that becomes viral. And because they also don't know, it affects a lot the community. They want to be more famous, and they want more likes like this, and they do it, but they are not aware of the what will be the later impact which will create in the society, what will happen to the people, what the people will think. Because some we can say that there are a lot of people, they don't have the basic idea of about media also. They just believe what they think that everything is a news and they believe it. So is there any law? I just want to know that. Is there any law? It's not to punish these people, but bring awareness and make them understand that what you are doing is not correct. Okay, so that should be something to bring awareness before telling this is a crime. So you committed a crime, so you will be imprisoned. So is there any opportunity for the people to know about the complete idea about the law, or something which will help them or which will guide them to not to do such things? That's the one I want to know.
Thank you. That's a very, 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 very important question. I think balancing what is free speech, and what is considered to be encroaching on someone's rights, that's an issue that's faced by many jurisdictions around the world, and especially in a democratic society such as ours, where our rights to freedom of expression is protected in Section 46 of the Constitution, where all of us, you have the right to say what your opinions are. But that's the problem, That's the problem we have right now. What is an opinion and what is a fact? So that's where Father I'm coming on them like question, especially where how do we help provide awareness, or is there a law or anything that, unfortunately I don't think there's a law that governs or strategizes in terms of awareness law.
I think there's a policy.
Yeah,
I haven't cited it yet,
yeah.
but there was a policy, media policy that was created. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy, so I haven't gone through it. But I think there's some work that the government has put to try and just guide this sort of what Father was mentioned.
Yeah.
So that I think that may be part of that policy, maybe. But there's some work being done by the government and by, I think, the Media Council, and to look into that, just raising awareness on this issue.
You're right about that. The media policy and the media councils are, especially the government's trying right now. I'm looking for some importance because something can come up. As his father's mentioned, I think they all the same view. No, something has to be done. Something has to be done. So that's why there's a media policy that's been drawn up. I cited through the policy. I think it mostly concerns journalists, and to some extent, it may be the general public as well too. So it could be a stepping stone towards establishing something. But there's especially after this NRI paper, it talks about we have to, especially the first step forward is drafting regulations or law to make it mandatory for our young ones to learn about school-based awareness, incorporated into the curriculums, to teach our young ones as to how using social media, responsible use of social media, and also what constitutes as a cybercrime as well. So I think that's the challenge that government got now. How to incorporate that come into law, and then it comes down to our guidance counselors as well in our schools. If you want a guidance counselor, you don't know the importance of the role that you have. It's also to assist our young ones in learning about these things. These things are freely available on the internet. You can go and search Cybercrime Codex, and you can download him and have a look through it. And it's not really complicated. Not plenty legal jargon, but you read through and you can just find out about things. What's defamatory publication. What constitutes as defamation and all that. So but in answer to Father's question, I think the government is attempting to address this issue that's spiraling out of control, in my opinion. And also it's taken steps, but I think we need a more holistic approach towards involving the schools as well, and incorporating it into the curriculums as well to teach our younger ones. But I mentioned something on defamation as well. I think that's another important topic. Defamation and total side blow. So you bagarap him name lo on the line lo. Social media or social media, or you throw me talk pisin, or you throw me on talk na planti man harim or planti man read him when something you write him on newspaper, or when something you man am feeling was hey I'm write him or I'm talk sa talk I'm bagarap him name lumia. So he has a right under the law to sue you. Him can go lame complaint, criminal complaint, or him can go civil court na. And by proving okay, my name to Salomina, this is what I experienced and whatnot. So cybercrime too, I'm involved. Unfortunately, I'm involved in these little issues. You make all man or go on top of social media or papa, rapim all man no go through. But just rouse him, uproot him, na just clear him straight on him kind of illegal, But rapim all man, and then the drawback. What happens when that person takes you to court or blame on the complaint to the police station? What happens there now? So usually you got some thing like
that also like suppose you cross a muscle on the man, or can you bagat on the personal cross on the man, and then you go put it out, and then money I'm kind of same, like for instance me has run me lawyer. So all but talk man, I'm still man, or Yaman man. But in reality, you know, the still man, Yaman, then everyone will start thinking that you still man, Yaman man, and then because lo work blah blah, me play the main work blah so lawyer, we it's through like work blah blah. I make him now. We get clients or customers that we train to. It's
Reputation,
reputation is a big thing. It's what basically makes pays your bills as a lawyer. So if you have a smear campaign against a person like a lawyer or just in general context, I'm put him as a lawyer. Na go now na talk say because lo you make him this talk now. Me lose more client blooming now. Client blooming less now. Go learn lawyer. And then who's going to look after this person? Then you know got one fact, no one evidence to talk say man is still man or con man.
No.
Like just that statement alone, you put him on top of social media. You bugger up him life blow one blow man. You defame him and finish now. You bugger up him life blow implication. That's how you influence someone else's decision to go to this person to give his services to. Or suppose you go to the doctor and oh no man, make a wrong diagnosis, make him na line blooming. No, there's to be a finding of fact first before, and then there's channels there that you can go and put. There's authorities there. There's like the court, or you can go to police, lay him complaint. But you go direct call or social media, you're not helping that situation. But you don't have help him. You won't achieve anything. I don't know what you achieve by putting it, but you don't. So me talk, it comes back. Lo you individual lo responsibility. You got responsibility and a duty too. Lo the general public na how you influence the talk. So once you do that, coming back lo, so me talk. Once you work again, you defame man. Then you're affecting that person's life and maybe his source of income. So then now him got right lo carry you go lo court now because you make him you influence him all now problem man all thing is true. When actual fact them no kan like in fact or evidence lo show him most true okay like an so then you defaming that person now the law now will be on that person now on the side of that person now because you working on the defamatory publication now you defaming man now this person now he's not able to get clients or if it's like a business or he's running and he's not able to. So then that will like contribute to affecting that person's life. Like sit down blame. He's not able to get clients, pay for his bills, look after his family. So that's where that it comes to protect this sort of defamatory publication, and then then it gets a bad negative influence on the rest of the on how people perceive you or see you. So that's basically also how this can happen, or how it affects or influence the life of people. And the messages that you put too is like sample you got all influences, social media influences as well. If you put a negative, it's if you put a negative something negative on something, then you start influencing everyone to be negative. And if you start talking positive, then things will always see on the bright side. Look. So, leads me back to like my initial point in this topic is that your duty and your responsibility when you're putting when you're using these electronic devices.
I think you were mentioning something about putting content out there. It's a slippery slope, especially when you're also reposting certain things.
Yes.
You repost you some kind of me write on something I don't have that many followers, but then you have this big social media influencer, about 100,000 followers out there, and then you repost something someone says, and then you edit on the caption until you just talk some more. This is true or something. It's not your original content. And then you're relying on it, and then you repost him too. And I think I saw a case last. We did it in newspaper. One plat 2 months repost him, And then they all charge him it's like
Yes.
on him cybercrime,
Yeah.
bullying.
If you share that.
Yeah, you share him. You may pass him to him, forward him all messages, go come or forward him all messages. Things like that as well. Now, if you post that and if you believe it to be true, but without verifying its source, then you may also be liable to, for that crime.
Yes, it's actual offense.
Now, yeah. So, but there's a flip side to it. Like, for example, me want and I'm talking from like some of our experiences that you may face him. Me want constituent on ward ward number now. Me look as a councillor blo me I'm spark na. I'm one number out me on something now. Me can pick up them now. Me post him or me make on him. Okay. So me pick up them now. Me post him that he was walking somewhere and then I put something like my name gonna make it like when he wasn't doing something. That is actually a crime. That's me defaming him. But if I post out something about him, like, he's beating someone. He's beating someone at the moment, and look, this is his video. Now mix the video blame now me post him online.
Long time.
Me post him online now. Counselor is beating someone to a pulp, beating him, kind of say, And then like me post him online now. Me talk say, no, he's beating someone like this. And what I'm actually saying is true. Yeah. And I post it online and people are seeing it there. He cannot come and tell me that I'm defaming his reputation because what I'm posting is actually true. You think there's a flip side to it there.
Yes.
Now which leads us to the defenses.
Yes.
So court only you na. So man I'm carrying you go court now na. You should run me follow judge. The judge asking me, so why are you making this law? Council I'm putting some blood charge liu sem claim mosem. I'm all talk I'm true no gat. Now by talk no. Yona I'm true. I'm making mosem na mix him on a mena. Video blame I'm speak claim yet there. There's eyewitness testimonies that can actually put him there and then that he actually committed a crime. You see. So that leads us to that all defenses where if you post something na all holy you and then you know that it was actually true. It was true, then there's a defense. You can use that as a defense. Or if it was for the benefit of the public. Yeah. So defense I stop in it law on what's that provision? Section 21 subsection 5. So I'm kind of saying if one is something you post him true, if it was for the benefit of the public, or if it constituted a fair comment, or it was made in good faith,
Yep.
Oh.
Fair comment.
So if me go buy flower balls low, compra trading store side low, hola, and then me taste him now, me talk sa flower balls I'm taste rubbish I'm taste awfully click now me post him now what a man look is now stop lo man but in fact flower balls don't taste nice, you think. The flower balls doesn't taste nice. So people are avoiding that shop and that shop owner gets affected and then he sues you for posting that content. But then you have eyewitness testimonies that'll say, no, that flower balls doesn't taste right. So that means that the ingredients they didn't use was right. So that's truth and that's for the benefit of the public. And there was a fair comment, you think, it was made. So people have to understand this because these are the defenses that you can use. If what you are posting is actually true and it was used or made for the benefit of the public, then it's true. If you know that some place, it's hazardous for you to walk under a building or something like that, and you walk into a shop or you walk into one of these fast food restaurants and you see that, the door is going to fall on someone, don't come here, and then you're telling people, warning people to stay away, and the business owner takes you to court, then you're going to say, no, it was made for the benefit of the public. Me make a comment because me sawe was sample line back in Bagaraplia. So that's your defense. So that means that your what you're putting up is not an opinion. I mean, it is an opinion to some extent, but it was based on a fact. So that's, I think.
Like as Ron says, it's a fact. If you verify that fact first before you put it out. So if it's a fact, a factual statement, true, Nah, you got man to all go through the same thing, to all witness it.
Experience.
That's like a fact now. Or if it's a written fact, like as right now, I'm look NRI National Research Institute.
Yeah.
I'm making sample. I'm read them through all what's the findings in that report.
It's a
That's
fact. Yeah.
that's a fact. Those are facts.
Mm.
So that's the difference between a fact when sometimes people just talk like from the top of our head.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's not a verified factor.
Mm.
So verification, big plus something you must sabe what you putting, and then how it can influence someone. Yeah. So basically, facts important. You must seek him the truth and even the Bible to him said, seek the truth.
Mm.
Yeah.
I just want to ask something that I have seen long before. Some news that, as you are mentioning, that it is being repeated, but maybe after 1 month, 2 months, the same news is repeated, creating some impact in people's mind, and they are still feeling that it is something current news like that. If someone is posting some old news,
Mm.
and if they want to make the society to feel that still it is happening something in some place, and if it affects the society, what can be done? Because we know at least some of them know that then the message what is being posted, the video what is being posted in the social media, it's an old one. It's an old one. It's already maybe 5 months or 6 months old or 1 year old. But someone to create some problem in the society with the intention, they are posting some videos telling that it is happening now in this place. So be careful. Don't go there. Don't do this like that. In that case, what will happen to that person who has been posting that? Because we have seen lot of things, but nothing is happening. They are creating unwanted problem for the society. But yeah, we are talking about cybercrime, and there are police which they take like a cybercrime police. They have the authority to do something, but is there any change happening after this? Because we don't see any change. Things are coming every day as a normal thing. The videos are coming as a normal one. So when and how this can be stopped, and what will be done for this type of people really who are making some trouble for the society?
Mm. Yeah, I think so. There's certain a multifaceted approach to this question, I guess, because what you're posting, especially when a content you're posting is true, but it was true then, but it is not true now. So I've seen instances of it. Just for a bit context, me looking some instance, especially during sometime the unrest there. That was last year. So there were a lot of videos that were going around, and they're saying, oh, they're looting this place, or they're looting this here. And then actually the videos were from the previous year. Well, two ethnic groups were fighting at a particular location, and they were putting up these posts. Well, one of them, social media posts, and it created a frenzy of confusion. You mean to say where things are happening, which place they're happening, all of that. And then the fact is, I think we will have to judge the intention, and it's a really difficult thing to do, especially judging people's intention. People's intentions behind circulating a particular content, because it could swing either way in an argument in court, this person believed that it was true now. It was true now, but then he did not do his verification or checks and whatnot. That's the other thing now. And then if I'm playing the devil's advocate on both sides. Okay, it was true, but then the other opposing counsel will say, well, he didn't do his verification, his checks and whatnot. He just posted a video without confirming its, origin or confirming its the time and the date stamps and everything. So it's an aspect of this argument that's open for interpretation, and especially the reliance of that information, and then what are the impacts? Impact long. If it causes a closure of the road, if it causes another further civil unrest, then we'll have to judge on a case by case basis. So it's a very how should I say, difficult thing to approach, especially when you cannot judge the intention of people and then the content they're putting out. Judging the intention of people and whether they're relying on the information they think it's true and they're circulating. That's why, like on most social media sites, you got all fact check, all fact verifiers, all stuff. So and then I've seen that, like, people sometimes they come out and they correct the information in terms of, or they report it on either on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, whichever. They report the information, or they report it for being unfactual, not true, or just like simply incorrect. So there's features to social media sites that do that, and I would encourage people to actually use those features to censor content that is not true or is not right. So, but in terms of legal, as you mentioned, it's open to interpretation, because we cannot judge. It's not an easy thing to judge an intention of someone's intention.
So in this too, when it comes to cyber aspect of the law, there's two branches of law that deal with it. There's the criminal, and then there's the civil, where you can basically sue someone for like money, loss of money. So in the civil, the main principles in there are you have the duty, and then the breach of that duty, and then damages. That's a tort, we call it tort in the law. So if those three aspects are there, then sometimes you can go to the civil courts to take someone to court for if so. That comes back to what the father's question is, whether the intent may have or may have not been there, but then the duty and the responsibility for you to verify and can also attract that civil proceeding against that person or organization or who. So this you can use when it comes to cyber law, cybercrime and the law, or cyber activity and the law. There's two branches of law that we can use as remedies. Whether we can go through criminal, where we have to actually prove intent, like what Hezron is saying. Sometimes with civil, proving intent may be a bit
difficult.
Difficult based on case by case, but
especially with criminal.
Yes, criminal, because then you have to say that true, you really meant to do it, but then you may have not known, and then you posted it something from previous.
Too many things.
But with the civil, then yes, it puts a duty and a responsibility on that person, and then that can attract that civil proceeding against someone if you don't verify your facts. And then because you have a duty to verify it when you're a user of this an electronic device, you have a duty to verify it. And then if you don't, and then there's a breach of that duty, and then damages, then it can attract that proceeding in a civil.
Sure. Can you, for the benefit of our listeners, you mentioned beyond reasonable doubt. Can you beyond reasonable doubt on a balance of probability cell or civil? You explain him but understand him, so
yes,
clarify him thing especially when it comes to how we're talking about proving.
Yes, proving. So proving the proving a case in the court of law. Like I said, there was two branches of law to do with the electronic cyber use of cyber, use of internet and cyber. There is the criminal law. So criminal law, in that court, when you want to take a criminal case to court, you must prove beyond reasonable doubt. That means that you have to meet all the elements of a charge. So a charge in a criminal charge will have different aspects that will make it a criminal offense. So you must prove all those elements.
No.
So they said, for instance, in the one of the cybercrime defamatory publication, so it says, for the purpose of this section, the offense, there's three. It's a person who intentionally, without excuse or justification of a lawful excuse or of a lawful excuse or justification, or recklessly uses an electronic system or device to publish defamatory material concerning another person, is guilty of a crime. So you have to prove all that was mentioned. So you have to say that yes, there was one person, a person. You have to have the offender, and then you have to prove that without lawful excuse. You have to or justification. So he had no authority or lawful excuse, and then or justification in the law, and then he recklessly or without justification he used an electronic device, maybe his phone or so, and then he published something that was defamatory in nature. And then if you meet all those three things, those what was put out, what I mentioned, then that becomes you proving it beyond a reasonable doubt that he actually did that. So that you have to use the evidence to tie down those elements. So every criminal offense has an elements of that charge. So you have to prove those elements, and there might be 3 or 4 elements that you actually did it. So that the evidence now will help you to prove beyond a reasonable doubt in a court, in a criminal court, the offense had actually occurred and you actually did and committed that crime. So it's a high responsibility on the state, or the state office of the public prosecutor, the state prosecutors, and the lawyers from the public prosecutor. They have a very high responsibility to prove their case, high standard of proof to get that case, find a person guilty, convicted, basically because it's the state taking an individual to court. So that's why every effort by the government must be put to prove their case. Okay, if it's a balance in the civil, that's in the criminal court. If it's in the civil court, civil proceedings, then it's a balance of probability. So you have to show that just to tip the scale in your favor, you have to show enough evidence. And then there is, like I mentioned earlier, the tort. You have to show to the court that in a civil proceeding that there was duty that someone had. He breached his duty. He wasn't responsible, and then he posted something that's defamatory, and then someone ended up losing his client or so, and then or his reputation was tarnished. So and then that you just have to prove. You have to get evidence that will prove, that will show to the court that a person had a duty. He breached that duty, and then the damages occurred, or someone is facing hardship or damages as a result of the person recklessly or without due care. He didn't take up, or he didn't his duty. He just neglected it and went ahead and published something defamatory. So that in itself is when there's enough evidence there, then it goes in your favor. Then the court can make a ruling in your favor. And if the defense they say that, oh no, we didn't know and about this defamatory post from some years ago, we didn't know, but then you still have the duty to when you're using the electronic device and social media also, you still have a responsibility, and you didn't that duty and responsibility you didn't use it, or you recklessly went and published it. So the court can make a finding against you. So that's on a balance of probability. The court will make a decision that, oh yeah, because of this, yeah, you didn't know, but because you had that responsibility, you have to compensate that person, or you have to you are the order is against you. We will uphold that submission or that writ or that claim against you. So you are now liable to pay. In a civil court, you usually pay damage fees. You pay the compensation court by man. But like in criminal, court calabus, you basically will go to jail for an offense. So that's I hope that just in a nutshell we're able to clarify that balance of probability and beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the standard. That's what the courts use to make decisions.
Yeah, sorry, Pastor, you got some question or?
Me like ask him Wampla, because we are talking about cybercrime. Na yung kata sabi also, it's mainly the young people that are attacked with cybercrime, and especially I'd say for girls and women. All mangi not Thomas, boys mangi not Thomas, it's just the girls. And sometimes the girls are helpless. So how can these young ladies or Mary that face cybercrime, mainly it's to do with nudes, if you may, because you plat tok and I was just thinking cybercrime. One thing that young girls face is through those nudes, and sometimes it's through Photoshop. They do Photoshops, not all posting, and most girls receive messages on social media, and they are being what's the word?
Extorted.
Yes. And they are told to, or they are being asked to give in, or they post those pictures. So before the pictures are posted, also go texting all girls law private messages or DMs, and then they tell those girls to come meet me here, meet me there. If not, maybe posting this. So if you guys have any advice for